Blush is the most powerful 2-minute anti-aging trick you have in your entire makeup bag. Think about it. A healthy, rosy flush is the very picture of youth and vitality. It is what our cheeks did naturally when we were young, glowing with color. And the right blush can give that back to you in seconds. But here's the problem. Most women over 50 are applying their blush in the exact spot that drags their face down, using the wrong formula in a shade that does not flatter out of pure habit left over from decades ago. And instead of lifting and brightening the face, their blush is quietly aging it. In the next 15 minutes, I am going to show you the blush mistakes aging women over 50 and exactly how to apply blush to lift and brighten your face in seconds. This is one of the fastest, most dramatic transformations in all of makeup, and once you see it, you will never apply blush the old way again. Number 4 is the technique that changes everything. Stay with me until the end. Before we begin, here is why blush matters even more after 50 than it did in our youth. When we were young, our skin had natural color and a natural flush. As we age, our complexion loses that color, becoming more even but also flatter, paler, and less vibrant. This is exactly why the right blush is so transformative after 50. It restores the color and life that time has faded, instantly making the face look healthier, more awake, and younger. But because our faces have also changed shape, softened with volume shifting downward, the old rules of where and how to apply blush no longer work. We need a new approach, one designed to lift. If you're new here, hit subscribe. This channel exists for the real woman over 50 who refuses to disappear. Mistake number 1. The wrong placement. This is the biggest blush mistake, and almost every woman over 50 makes it. We were taught decades ago to smile and apply blush right on the round apples of our cheeks. It worked when we were 25, when our cheeks were full and lifted. But here is what has changed. As we age, our natural volume in our cheeks settles and shifts downward. When you now apply blush low on the apples, the color sits in the lower part of your face and visually pulls everything down, emphasizing the very sagging you want to counteract. It drags the face down and can make you look tired. The fix? Move your blush up and out. Instead of the apples, apply your blush higher along the top of your cheekbone and sweep it up and outward toward your temple. This placement draws the eye upward, creating an instant lifting effect that counteracts the downward shift of age. The difference between low placement and high placement is genuinely dramatic. High and lifted, never low on the apples. This one change alone transforms your whole face. Mistake number 2. Powder over cream. Many women over 50 reach for powder blush automatically because that is what we've always used. But on mature skin, powder blush is often the wrong choice, and cream blush is the secret weapon almost nobody is using. Here is why. Powder blush sits on top of the skin and can look flat, dry, and powdery, settling into fine lines and emphasizing texture on mature cheeks. Cream blush, on the other hand, melts into the skin and looks like a natural flush coming from within, adding a dewy, youthful glow that powder simply cannot replicate. The fix? Switch to cream blush. A cream or liquid blush blends seamlessly into the skin for the most natural, lit-from-within flush, and the slight dewiness makes skin look plumper and more youthful. Apply it with your fingertips, tapping and blending it high on the cheekbone. Your fingers warm the product and press it into the skin beautifully. If you truly prefer powder, choose a finely milled, satiny one and apply it lightly over a well-moisturized base. But for most women over 50, cream blush is a genuine game changer. Mistake number 3. The wrong color. The shade of your blush matters enormously, and the wrong color can make even perfect placement look off. 2 common mistakes here. The first is a shade that is too brown, muted, or dull, which does nothing to brighten and can look muddy on mature skin. The second is a shade that is too bright, frosty, or shimmery, which looks harsh and emphasizes texture. The fix? Choose a soft, fresh blush shade with a natural, slightly luminous, non-shimmery finish in a color that mimics a genuine flush. For fair skin, soft roses and cool pinks are lovely. For medium and olive skin, warm peaches, corals, and rosy tones flatter beautifully. For deeper skin, rich berries, warm terracottas, and deep roses look stunning. The test is simple. The right shade looks like you just came in from a brisk, happy walk, a healthy, natural flush, never a stripe of obvious color. When in doubt, think of the color your cheeks turned naturally when you were young and choose something close to that. Mistake number 4, the technique that lifts. This is the technique that changes everything, building on placement. It's not just where you put the blush, but the direction and the way you blend it. Applied carelessly, even correctly placed blush can look like a flat patch of color. Applied with lifting technique, it sculpts and raises the entire face. Here's the method. Smile gently to find the top of your cheekbone. Place your cream blush at the highest point of your cheekbone. Then, using upward and outward sweeping motions with your fingertips, blend it up toward your temple, following the natural line of your cheekbone. The color should be most concentrated on the cheekbone and fade softly upward with no harsh edges. This upward diagonal direction is what creates the lift, essentially drawing the eye along an upward line and mimicking the lifted contour of a younger face. For an extra lift, a tiny touch of a cream highlighter just above the blush on the very top of the cheekbone catches the light and enhances the effect. Blend up and out. Always. That's the secret to a lifted face. Mistake number 5, too much or too little. Getting the amount right is the final piece, and both extremes cause problems. Too much blush looks clownish and obvious, drawing attention for the wrong reasons, and reading is dated. Too little or skipping blush entirely leaves the face looking pale, platt, tired, and older, which is extremely common as many women abandon blush altogether after a bad experience with too much. The fix? Aim for a soft, natural flush, buildable and blended. With cream blush especially, start with a small amount because you can always add more, and blend thoroughly so there are no edges or patches. The goal is a healthy glow that looks like it could be your own natural color, noticeable enough to bring life to your face, but subtle enough that no one thinks about your makeup. And please do not skip blush. Of all the makeup steps, blush is one of the most transformative for adding youthful life to a mature face. A face with the right soft flush looks years younger than a bare, colorless one. Now let me give you the simple lifting blush routine that brings it all together. Step 1, start with well-moisturized skin and your foundation or tinted moisturizer. Step 2, smile gently to find the top of your cheekbone. Step 3, dab a small amount of cream blush on the highest point of your cheekbone with your fingertips. Step 4, using upward and outward sweeping motions with your fingertips, blend it up toward your temple, keeping the color concentrated on the cheekbone and fading softly upward with no harsh edges. Step 5, for an extra lift, tap a tiny bit of cream highlighter just above the blush on the very top of the cheekbone. That's it. In under 2 minutes, you've lifted and brightened your entire face and given yourself back a healthy, youthful glow. The blush mistakes aging you come down to this: placing it too low on the apples, using powder instead of cream, choosing a dull or harsh shade, blending it flat instead of up and out, and using too much or, more often, too little or none at all. The fix is one beautiful shift. Apply a soft cream blush high on the cheekbone and sweep it up and out to lift and brighten. Here's what I want you to do tomorrow morning. Try applying your blush high on your cheekbone, swept upward toward your temple, and watch what happens to your face in the mirror. The lifting effect is immediate, and it's genuinely one of the most satisfying makeup changes you will ever make. Blush is the fastest way to bring youthful life and glow back to your face. You are not aging, you are arriving, and your beautiful face deserves to glow exactly as brightly as the woman behind it. If this helped you today, hit subscribe. Tell me in the comments, where have you been putting your blush all these years? I read every single reply. Next time, we're talking about the hairstyles that add instant volume for women over 50 with thinning hair. See you Friday!